Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, we could really use your help. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, recently named the Too Opinionated podcast one of its top 100 podcasts. This is a monumental feat for this program. We're a father and son team out of a small town in West Virginia, have been doing this for about 5 years. There's 15 million podcasts out there. About 40,000 of those get to the point that they're listed on IMDb. Out of those 40,000 out of the 15 million, we were ranked number 82. Something that we're just immensely proud of. We're so thankful for our listeners, our watchers, our fans. Thank you so, so much. If you would like to help us out, and we're asking for it, please. It's easy. It's really easy. It's free. If you go to IMDb, that's imdb.com, look up Too Opinionated Podcast, and just take a look at the page. That's all you have to do. I mean, you're welcome to look at the cast, look at the episodes so you can kind of see who's been on the program. Do whatever you want. But even just bringing up the page, imdb.com, Too Opinionated Podcast, bring up the page, look at it. That helps us so much. So please, if you can do anything, we would really appreciate that. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Love to have your subscription there. It's also free. And you can also check out our website, meistercon.com, where you'll find almost 700 episodes, audio and video, available on there. There's also a terrific blog from Brett, and it'll let you know anything that we have going on in studio, if we're covering a convention, if we're going on location, anything that we have going on will be on the website, meistercon.com. Thank you guys so, so much. We appreciate you so much. I can't express enough how appreciative we are of all of you. We never expected to do as well as we have, and that's all because of you. Thank you so much. Enjoy that interview. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress Kaylayla Raine with me. So welcome, Kaylayla.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. I've been looking forward to talking with you. My wife and I are such big fans of Resident Alien, and as it amazes me because if you read about Resident Alien online, I mean the fans are pretty rabid. They're like me. They're like into the show. It's not like casual fans.
No. That's I mean, I feel like sci-fi fans are different, they're invested.
Different.
It's different. It's and I like it. I'm a big sci-fi fan myself. I was a big Firefly fan, and I know that was like once people latched onto that, it was ferocious. Yeah.
Every April Fools we get that joke. We're getting season 2. No, we're not.
No, it could never be. It could never be how it was,
Well, I mean, being fair, part of the reason everybody loves it is because it ended way too soon. But if it had continued like a normal run of whatever, 5 years, 7 years, whatever, is it as popular? Probably not. It could be very popular.
Yeah, it could be
Part of the
very
reason
popular.
it's so big is because it was ended way too soon.
Yeah, left everyone wanting more. It left me wanting more. That's for sure.
It's fun going back and looking at that cast because they've all moved on to bigger things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know. And Alan was so good. I think that was the role, and he's had many, but that he was so good. As Wash, and then what happens.
Can't talk about that. It'll leave us both too emotional.
Oh my God.
No, it's funny when I started on Resident Alien, I kind of had like I'd seen some of the people and I'd seen some of the names, and I was going through them with my mom because it's my mom.
Of course.
And my mom was like, "You realize who that is, right?" And I was like, "No." And then I put it together and I was very excited. My mom was also very excited.
Yeah. Well, so what was it like when you ran into Alan on set?
Um, you know, abnormally normal. um, it was, I mean, he's a friendly guy, professional guy, you know. It was it treated me like a colleague. It was very nice. We had a good time. He showed me on the first day on Resident Alien was my first day on a professional set ever, was that pilot. And so I was, 17 and nervous and it was early days, and he showed me a playlist that he'd created that was, you know, about an alien trying to become a human. And I remember on that playlist was Ironic by Alanis Morissette. And it was, yeah, that's one of my like key first memories from that first day on set with Alan
I
and
mean,
with
that's
that.
kind of great. And it totally fits his personality that he would come with a playlist.
Truly, truly. I mean, he's a phenomenal performer. Um, I feel like I've learned a lot from watching everyone on our set. It's a really great ensemble. Everyone's got their own style. And it's very cool to get to learn and to have like grown up a little bit with the
You
same crew.
really have.
Yeah, I was 16 when I auditioned. I'm 22 now, and so
I know
it's
this shows it's had a little bit of a rocky run just because of the obstacles in its path. You know, it's we've had 3 seasons. We probably should have had 4 or 5 by now.
yeah, I mean honestly, I think it's a testament to the fans and the creators and like the passion behind the show that it is still going, despite everything that's happened that has like slowed the process down. It's like the story needed to be told. People were really invested in getting the story told, and yeah, it's super cool. And like you said, it's trippy that it's been so long
Yeah.
since
I mean, it's
we first saw.
basically about every other year we're getting a season, but that wasn't intentional. That's just how it's worked out.
Yeah, yeah, it's a slow burn. It's been a slow burn for all of us.
Are
Every
we
time.
are we getting season 4? What's your gut tell you?
I mean, I
No
think it
gut
would.
feelings yet.
I think it would. I think it would hurt not to. I think it would. I think it would hurt not to.
I think it's coming back. I think the it's gotten that kind of cult following, and now that Netflix has it as well as Peacock, I
Mhm.
think it's coming back. I just
Yeah,
have
I mean, Netflix was a big. That
that.
felt like a big moment.
Well, it gives you a backup too, because if sci-fi decides not to go forward, maybe Netflix picks it up. That's happened before. You never know.
Mm,
I don't
yeah.
really care as long as somebody's making the episodes. So let me back us up a little bit, because we got to talk more Alien, but we'll keep that on the burner or the back burner for a second. Tell me a little bit about what got you into acting. Why'd you want to be an actress? That's a hard profession, especially starting out at a young age. Difficult.
Yeah. Well, well, I technically did my first play when I was 9. I wrote and starred and made the sets and did all of that. And then I got into it again in high school, and my school was very theater and film oriented, unofficially, but that was the focus in the
Sure.
school. And I dove in headfirst in my first year of high school. I think I didn't know what I liked to do. So the idea of getting into somebody else's head and doing what they like to do was very appealing to me.
Right.
And that's, remained appealing to me. I mean, that's a big part of the draw is um getting out of my head and into somebody else's head and kind of exploring what that looks like. Um, but yeah, it was my school for
Going
sure.
normally, or are you more of an introvert normally?
Um, I think I mean, I'm a people person, but I'm more introverted for sure. I mean, I love my downtime.
Yeah,
I
me too.
would rather
Me
be
too.
at home in bed at like 8 o'clock at night most nights, just hanging out. But I love people and I love being around people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm that way too. I love people too, but if I get too much, I need that downtime. Like
Yeah.
urgently need that downtime.
I feel like it happens really fast. It's like I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then
Too
I hit
much.
my stop and it's like, all right, I'm going home. Goodbye, everyone. I'll text you later and let you know that I left. It's all good. Don't
Wait,
worry.
if you weren't acting, what would you be doing?
Well, I mean, between acting, I do a lot of mutual aid, community building kind of work.
Oh,
And that's yeah, that's how I spend my time now outside of acting. I imagine
yeah.
that's what I would be doing even more of that if I wasn't acting. But I think at the core of like all of it is telling stories, and
Yeah.
that's the uh that's the appeal. But yeah, I think I'd just be doing more of that.
Can you believe it's the finale tonight?
No, no, I cannot.
It's such a quick season.
I know. It's gonna be good though. It's gonna be a good night.
Oh, it's been ratcheting up every episode. So I'm looking forward for the a few of the storylines to conclude.
Oh my God, me too.
I told um I had Elizabeth on, and
Mhm.
I was telling her that I gotten close with Meredith, over the course of the last couple of years. We've spent a little bit of time together, got close. So I have trouble seeing her when she's upset on camera, even though that's not her, that's her character. But just seeing her upset, because I know her a little bit, I'm like, oh, Meredith's upset.
Yeah, I mean, that last episode was
It
brutal.
was brutal.
It's brutal. I didn't like it either. I don't like seeing Meredith look upset either. Um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
so nice that you've gotten to know her. She's so lovely.
Yeah, well, she's been very gracious about coming on the podcast, and yeah, we just kind of talked and got along pretty well. And then she's helped with connecting me with other cast members, which has been great because I love the show. With that, and I've been out there, singing the praises, bringing people on board. I
Uh,
got my wife hooked on it, got my best
doing the
friend
good
hooked on it.
work.
I'm out there. I'm out there doing my part to make sure it comes back.
Well,
your
thank you.
your storyline on the show, which is part of the reason I wanted to have you on, has been so good. Like that's one of the reasons the show's so good, because you don't expect those deeper storylines on a show about an alien.
Yeah, it's true. I When we first came on, I remember Chris Sheridan, our showrunner, saying that he wanted the characters to be interesting enough that the show would be worth watching if there wasn't an alien. And I think that having that idea at its core was just the foundation of a really,
Worked.
really great show. Yeah.
It's that's I think that's why it's so popular. We've gotten so attached to all the different characters on the show. I mean, it's like we're all members of this small town watching this stuff. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's nice when we shoot because the town is it's a real town, it's not a set town, it's Ladysmith on the island. And so
Oh
when we
yeah.
do all like the exteriors in town and stuff, it actually has that small town feeling, and we actually, in between takes or setups or whatever, we'll go and check out the shops
Yeah.
and get coffees and things, and it actually feels like that when we're there.
Yeah, it's pretty great. That's
It's
pretty great.
nice.
Well, so how did your role on the show come about? Was that just send in a tape and let them see it, or did somebody approach you and say, hey, you should try out for this?
No, it's just well, it was pre-pandemic, so we were still doing
Oh, you were
in-person
still in
auditions.
person. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
which
Yeah,
was
it's
quite
been
nice.
like 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss it, honestly. I feel like those in-person auditions, they really give you a chance to like show the casting director who you are as a
Yeah.
person, 30 seconds at the start, 30 seconds at the end, but those 30 seconds add up after time.
Well, if
Um,
you send in a tape and you don't nail it for whatever they're looking for, they're just gonna move on. But if you're in person, they can maybe redirect you and give you another shot at it.
exactly. But yeah, I did a couple rounds of in-person auditions, and then we did one that believe it was our director of the pilot, David Dobkins, was at. And then I got the call. And it was the first call ever. And for it to be for a pilot for a sci-fi show, for a character that I totally in many, many ways can connect to and relate to, it was surreal.
I mean,
Super
that's pretty
surreal.
great for an
Yeah.
early acting job to do a character that you're maybe somewhat familiar with. That's not
Yeah.
terrible.
No, and I mean also to have a character that has, a story and that has depth to
Yeah.
them. You know, even if it's not directly explored on screen, like I get to explore that as a performer, what it means to be this young person with this complicated family in this teeny tiny little town. Very interesting, very fun to put yourself in that person's shoes and look at all these people and try to make sense of what's going on.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we've gotten the chance to kind of get to know you as your dirty laundry has been kind of thrown out there for the town to see.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming for
Yeah,
Jay, this moment, and in these this last episodes getting to, say what she's been wanting to say to Asta. Um so much is out of her control, and has been out of her control this entire time and really her whole life. Um and she is now becoming an adult, and she has this information, and she is starting to grab onto that, and that to me is very exciting, to see where that could go as a young adult, who's really quite connected to everyone in town. um
he really is.
yeah, in ways that we haven't gotten to explore yet, but like there's a
It's
lot there's
part
a
of the
lot
reason we love it so much because the town's so connected. You've got that group that grew up together, and you're
I
still
love
learning
those
about those
scenes when
connections.
they're kids. Oh, they warm my heart. They're my favorite.
It
They're
is
some of
pretty
my
great.
favorite scenes when you see them as kids.
Yeah, the camping trip and some of the little stories they've told us. Yeah, that's pretty great. I love that because it deepens that connection. Like Ben and Darcy, you don't realize early on that they have this kind of long-standing relationship going on, but as the show goes on, you find out more and more, and you're like, yeah, they're pretty close.
And that's real. That's like small town
Yeah,
energy. And it's funny. It's like Vancouver is not a small town. It's a city.
yeah,
But if you live here long enough, it starts to feel like a
sure.
small town. Um
Yeah, your
and
little area of Vancouver.
yeah, your little area. If you went to school here or whatever, you still see the same people. I still see people I went to school with in elementary school walking
Yeah,
around the streets. Like it's a strange town, and to be in something even smaller, I can't imagine.
yeah. That's how I grew up. I'm in a, a, a town called St. Albans now, and it's very small, a few thousand people. But I grew up a few miles away in an even smaller town. It was probably maybe 1,000, maybe.
Wow.
So it's tiny, and everybody in the town knows you. They know what's going on with your family. They know the history, all of it, and they know your parents. So if you screw up, they're going to know. It's like the whole town kind of babysits you as you're growing up.
Yeah. I think that's I think that helps with the show, is that it is this little boiling pot of tension, because it's like once one person finds something out, everyone finds
Everybody
that
knows.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I love the relationship between you and Sarah. and your adopted mom, uh,
Hmm.
because that could actually play out. That seems real. The kind of awkwardness between the two of you, but you both have these strong feelings, and you're trying to relate to each other. Very difficult. And then you've got Asta and the stepmom, or trying to or the adoptive mom, trying to figure out how to interact with each other. I just that the writing and the dialogue on the show, some of the best parts of the show.
Yeah, I love it. I love my scenes with them. They're so like tender. Getting to be on set with both my stepmoms at the same time is always really sweet. We all get along really well, and yeah, the chemistry that exists on our show exists because there's chemistry off camera and because we love working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you can tell, I've said that before, as a fan, if the chemistry's off on a show, we know. We may not know what's wrong, but it throws the show off. But when the chemistry's really strong, it helps. And you can
Yeah.
tell, it just seems like everybody genuinely actually gets along.
Yeah, and it's there's something that I feel like writers and actors get to know these characters really intimately.
Yeah.
And I think there is a lot of love between us as a cast and the writers on our show also, and the rest of the creative team. Like there's trust and collaboration, and yeah, I think that even off camera like that lends to a confident workplace.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I loved I think it was last episode. It may have been the one before that, but I love you had the conversation with Asta, and you're in the car, and and you're like, we've never talked about it, or whatever it is. And she's like, well, let's talk about it. And you're like, no, it's all right. Maybe later.
I was looking forward to that scene all season long. Let me tell you, that was like the culmination of so many feelings because it's been a slow burn.
Oh, it has.
It's slow burn for everyone. It's been a slow burn for Jay, I feel like, in particular, character wise. And it's great because that's how it is. Like it should be a slow burn. It should be a slow burn. It needed to take this much time to get to a place where we could talk about this because Jay is 18 and stubborn and moody and wants to be self-sufficient but isn't, and isn't great at admitting that she's been hurt and being vulnerable with people that she loves. And so it had to take this long for her to get to a place where she could be this honest with Asta without feeling like that honesty is going to ruin their relationship.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
And it's
it
been well
felt
done.
wonderful as a performer to get to like say those words, to say like I'm a person, because like I said, all these decisions are being made around her, and all she wants is to be a part of the decision making process. All she wants is to be treated like a person, and to get to say that and have that release. No.
Yeah.
Delightful.
I know you probably, I'm sure you're anticipating. Were you nervous for that scene, or was it just like, finally, let's do it?
Um, I was excited.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I was nervous and um looking forward to it and stoked to finally to do it, but it felt complete
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a
It
way.
did it was kind of that full circle moment.
Yeah, it really is because even in the way it's written, the first time you see Asta with like baby Jay, it's what her watching Sam bring me in a
Right.
carrier up to the door to my mom, and then to have Jay like walk away to meet her mom too. It's nice because you know, that's also like that. My adoptive mom is my mom. It's
Yeah.
not like
That's who
she
raised you.
disappears. That's who raised me. Like I love her as my mom, and I'm trying to figure out how I love Asta because I know I love her, but I don't know what she's supposed to be to me yet.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because is she a mother figure? Is it more like a sister? Is it just a friend? You gotta figure all that out.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think, yeah, I think it's nice for Jay to have that moment of being like, okay, well, I've got my mom. I've got my mom. I'm going home to my mom right now. And you and I can figure out whatever this is later, because there
Later.
will be a later.
Yep.
I'm not running away. I'm not shutting you out. I'm just going home.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It was one of the best conversations for me that we've had in the series, and there's been some really good ones. But I love that because we've all been waiting for that. It's like, oh, would those two just talk? And you still haven't quite talked it out yet. But now
Mm,
at least we know, well, they're not going anywhere. It'll happen at some point.
yeah. And I think it's really important that Asta knows that Jay knows.
Yes.
That Asta knows that Jay is aware that there has been harm caused, that Asta has hurt Jay, and that they can figure it out. That's not going away. That's not going away just
Right.
because they talked about it, but that they, they're both, if they're both committed, they can figure it out.
Yeah. I kind of love that.
It's
It
kind
had
of
to
just
feel
in a way
good. Go
putting
ahead.
the ball in her court.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It kind of puts it's Jay's decision now.
Hmm.
How much or how little she wants to interact. I was going to say it has to feel good as an actress to get to this point because when you were brought into the show, pretty new, pretty new to acting, very young. So obviously you haven't screwed up or been so terrible that they couldn't progress you in the story. It's like every episode we're getting a little bit more of Jay's backstory, and that wouldn't happen if you weren't a great actress. And we've seen that, and I think we saw that in that scene. It was like it didn't just bring that to a conclusion, so to say, uh, but it also demonstrated that you can act. You've got range, you got some emotion. It was pretty great.
Shucks, thanks, man. That's really nice to hear. Yeah, I get really stoked every time I get to come back on set. I I freaking love the show.
Yeah.
I love the show. Um, and I'm really grateful that they keep bringing me back and that they seem to like working with me as much as I like working with them. And yeah, it like is very cool to get to go back and see myself as a younger person growing throughout the years.
I was laughing about Judah
Oh
because
my god,
he's changed so much.
he's so big.
Yeah. Well, and that's what happens. At his age especially. I mean, you change a lot in a year or two, and it's been 6.
Oh, for sure. Judah is awesome. Judah is like the coolest. Judah is the coolest kid. Judah like is so friendly and having such a good time and still so just like seems to like love what they do. Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool kid.
He and he loves what he does.
Yeah.
we we had the panel interview with some of the cast, which by the way, you got to come on for the next one. We're gonna
I'd
do
love
another.
to.
Yeah, you got to come on. But you could tell from Judah, he just loves what he's doing. He was
Hmm.
just in a great mood, very excited to talk about it. Yeah, it was. I kind of loved it. I was like, man,
Yeah.
you. I hope that continues the rest of your life. Because most of us don't have that reaction to work.
No, definitely not. I want to work with him. I want to get to work with Judah at some point. I think that sounds like a good time. I think there was one day where I was working in the diner and
Yeah.
like Judah and Gracelyn come in, and that was I think the only time that we were really on set together, unless I'm
We
missing
need an
something.
episode where it's got all the younger people doing something together.
It sounds
Start
like a
with
good
the
time
men.
to me. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll bring that baby alien back. Just kidding.
You know,
R.I.P.
the the show, like if you just like when we started watching, we watched for Alan. We were Alan Tudyk fans, we watched. But I'm like, this show sounds ridiculous. You know, and I'm a comic book guy, so I knew that it was a comic. I hadn't read it, but I knew it was a comic. I was like, this show sounds ridiculous, but it's not. It could be. Like, I think if anybody else was playing the alien besides Alan, probably wouldn't work. But you know, because of the writing, the cast, and Alan, it works. I don't know how exactly, but it works. I love this show.
I don't know how either. I feel the same way. I feel like it, it comes together and I don't know what it is. I think it's everyone in, I guess everyone in every department is invested, and that's what happens, I guess, when everyone's
It works.
Yeah.
Well, and kudos to Chris for the job he's done putting it together, because he had the whole vision. You know, because it's similar to the comic, but it's not exact. And that's hard to do, to tell a good story that fans of the comic will like, but not be upset because you're changing the story.
It's a huge risk. It's a huge thing. I think adapting anything, and adapting comics and sci-fi that, like we've established, have a particularly ferocious fan base.
You better get it right.
In the best way possible, like
Yes.
myself included. Um, yeah, it is a testament to, I think, his creative vision and leadership, bringing the right people on board in every respect. And my mom bought me the comics after I booked the part. They were
That's
like,
good
"You have
parenting.
yeah, they were like, you can't do this and not like read the
Yeah, you got to
comics."
know.
Obviously you can't.
The
And
comic's really good.
it's really cool to get to see the core that came out of the comic, and then the ways that they shifted and the ways that they like kept some things, really try to keep things some authentic to the core feeling of the comic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not an easy task.
Oh.
Because yeah, you could easily screw that up. But he didn't.
No, no. I think the vision is beautiful, and I was young and I didn't know what exactly I was stepping into. I couldn't envision what kind of show it was gonna be. And
Same.
so to see the first pilot, that was everything. I think they did a screening in LA, but I didn't have a passport yet, so I had to do my mom
Do
and
you
I
have
did
it
this.
now?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah,
We're mass employable.
yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to be coming over on occasion.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Hopefully sometime soon.
Have you
I
done
haven't
a
made my way down that far.
convention yet? Have you done one of those?
No, not yet. One day.
Yeah.
I mean, I've attended hours as a fan of
Oh,
many
yeah.
of
You
things.
need to be on the other side of it.
I don't know. I kind of like my side. My side's nice.
Being a fan's pretty great.
I like being. I like it. I like
Yeah,
it a lot.
that's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. But I think you do very well on the other side of the table.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Conventions are pretty great because you're mainly dealing with just really good people. I mean, you get a couple of knuckleheads, but for the most part, it's just great people
There's a couple of knuckleheads anywhere you go.
anywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
wrong.
one of these days.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And yeah, if you come here to the States, we'll try to come see you. Not that
Ooh.
that's added incentive, but we'll try. We'll at least try. Yeah.
I'm just getting my driver's license. I'm a little behind the game because I live in a city and you don't
You
need to
don't need
drive.
it. Yeah.
But I'm gonna have it, and then here
Look
we
out.
come.
Passport, driver's license, on the move.
Take on the world.
One of the things that I love about the show is it's quotable. There's so many good quotes on there. Like the one I brought up when we were doing the panel was Alan saying, I'm feeling attacked. I'm snowflaking. Cracked me up. I just thought that was the funniest. But do you have a line from the show that you're like, oh, that was good?
Oh, so many. Pretty much anything Dan says,
Dan says
cracks
some
me
good
up.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and almost everything that Dan says cracks me up. Um,
He's so dry sometimes with his delivery. It's pretty great.
yeah, and I mean, Corey's got a real knack for taking a line and putting a spin on it that I could never.
Love Sheriff Mike because
Yeah,
he's so stuck on himself.
yeah, he's a. I mean, on the snowflake, I think in the first season when Harry introduces Ben as Mayor Snowflake,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
gets. I
That's
love that one. That one got me for
Speaking
sure.
of the mayor, he looked a little buffer this season. Like he's been working out a little bit.
I certainly can't attest to that, but
Yeah,
go
good for him. Good for him.
go team.
Judah was not the only one to change. Mayor got bulky. And I'm
Yeah,
just
time's
assuming just
passing.
because maybe it just been a while since I'd seen him, but he
I
looked
think
good.
so. I think so. It's like you said, it has taken so long to get between seasons, and each season's shot even over such a long period of time that I feel like we're all changing, especially at the start during the pandemic
Oh yeah.
transition. Um,
Well, yeah, because we were all stuck, not really doing anything. None of us looked our best during the pandemic.
no, I mean, I think that if you did, that's probably a problem.
Right.
I I think I don't trust you, first of all.
Yeah.
If you went through the pandemic feeling like a normal person,
Well,
I'm
that's
sorry,
it.
but I don't.
I think we were all good for the first month, but then it just went on too long.
Man, I think the first month was the worst. Um
Really?
I was obsessively chopping vegetables with my brand new set of knives. Yeah, the first month was the.
Yeah, I didn't have too much trouble the first month because I was just like, oh, it's like a little vacation. But then it went on too long. I was like, oh, this is no good.
And now here we are, and it's like still a thing.
We're still trying to figure it out.
We're still, it's the pandemic has not ended. It
Yeah.
will not it will not
I
end.
don't
I
think we're
feel
going to
like
get rid of it. It's going to be kind of like the flu every year. We're just going to have to deal with it every season.
yeah, I think there are some protocols that could stay the same. I don't mind people standing 6 feet away from me.
I'm okay with that.
I don't mind us wearing masks when we're sick. I feel like we
Yeah.
probably should have been doing that before the pandemic started. I feel
I
like
know
we
I'm
should
pretty
always
sure there
wear
were other
masks.
things we should have been protecting ourselves
Yeah,
from.
like masks are great. They're cool. They keep us safe all the time. They protect our identity. People can't film us, like masks are awesome. Pro mask all the way.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah.
you. We
Lockdown
had
was
we
whew.
we had several of our grandkids were born in 2020, and
Ah,
so they grew up where they're seeing everybody in a mask. So then it was weird to them when people stopped wearing masks. Then
oh, so
they
strange.
had to adjust to it. Yeah.
So strange to think of that. I have like a number of people in my life that, did like school, all of high school online pandemic. And I mean, I feel so grateful to have been out of school, at least when the
Yeah,
pandemic
it's
hit, and to
rough.
have like had a year of living outside of school before the pandemic hit. Um,
You need the interaction from school,
yeah.
just with your peers, and you don't get that remotely.
No, and I mean,
Virtually.
learning is such a unique individual experience. Everyone approaches it so differently, and to be doing school online just means that it meant that so many kids weren't getting what they needed to learn. Which
That's
is
right.
so sad.
It is kind of sad. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Hey, we saw you pop up on Upload.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, enjoyed you on that. Is there a genre you haven't done yet that you would like to try?
I'd love to do slice of life kind of piece, something slow, something
Like more of a drama
yeah, maybe more of a drama, more of a
or like a period
indie.
piece?
Nah, more like an indie. There's this wonderful movie. I auditioned for it, and I'm so glad I didn't book the part because I think it's Violet Nelson who plays the character I auditioned for, did such a beautiful job. It's The Body Remembers When the World Broke Open.
Hmm.
Um, I know, long title. It was made locally, it's shot locally, it's set locally to Vancouver.
Yeah.
So for me, it was really cool to watch. And I went and saw that's the first movie I ever went to go watch by myself in theaters. And it was right as I was having, a existential crisis with the world. And I went and I saw it, and it's this really beautiful, slow-paced, um, just yeah, slice of life about a chance encounter between two people, and it just takes place over the course of like a day and a half,
Yeah.
and it's just like a day and a half in their life, and I think something like that would be
That
really,
would be
really
cool. I'm gonna have to
yeah,
look that one up because yeah, it
you
sounds like
should.
one I'd like.
It's beautiful. It's really nice. I think the performances are really wonderful and grounded, and it reinvigorated the love I had for film.
Well, yeah, I love that. Yeah, I wrote it down because yeah, I'll have to look that one up. That's yeah, because
Wicked. You'll have to tell me what you think of it next
yeah, I
time.
will. I'll watch and then we can compare notes because we're always on the lookout for something good to watch, which sounds silly
Mhm.
because there's so much out there and there's a lot of it's really good, but finding that stuff that fits your personality, that's not always as easy. That sounds like something I would really enjoy. So I'll watch that.
Oh, I
Okay.
look forward to hearing about it.
Well, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time with us today. I was looking forward to having you on. We had that panel interview, and then Elizabeth came on. I think it was Elizabeth I talked to and said, "Hey, we have to get Kaylayla on because yeah." I was like, "We should have had her with the panel. We need her on."
Aw,
I had
next time,
questions.
next time.
Oh yeah, we for sure. For sure. Yeah, we had the best time doing that. And part of the reason is it's a group of people that's just nice. They're just a good group.
Yeah, I watched the interview that you guys did together, and I was like, "Oh man, what a bunch of cuties."
Yeah, it
And
was pretty
every
fun.
time I see them all, and every time we get to do a table read or something, I'm like, I look around the room, I'm like, "What a bunch of cuties."
Yeah,
Bunch of lovely people, you know?
they're just nice.
It's just really nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good
Fit
time.
right in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you fit right in there.
Well, I appreciate that. I told him, I was like, hey, if you need like a body or something, I'm your guy. Just you probably don't want me to, you want to limit what I say.
Hey, there is a place for everyone in
Who's
the
the dead
movie
guy on the floor?
business.
Some podcaster.
I look forward to that. I look forward to that.
For my guest starring role as the body.
Of course. Yeah, of course. What else would I be looking forward to?
I want to
That's
be the guy when you're in the morgue and they always pull the drawer open to look at the
that guy.
body. That's me. And then they just
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good job. That's an important role.
What I'm saying.
That guy's important to the story. That's an essential, integral part of the story right there.
I think I could be that guy.
I think you could be that guy too. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you on set.
Okay, done. Season 4, I'm there. You're
Uh,
going to come in and they're going to be like, okay, this episode is you're investigating a murder. And you're going to come in, it's going to be me laying on the floor. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh.
Jay would insert herself into a murder investigation. I'm just saying. She would. She would. She's nosy.
I think we need to make that happen. We need a what is the solo episode just
Ooh,
from Jay's point of view.
side mission. The side mission episode.
Yes,
I love a side mission
I'm in
episode.
on that.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I am too.
All my favorite shows do side missions.
I'm calling Chris. I'm going to throw that out because I'm sure he loves to get just random
Oh
advice.
yeah. Who doesn't
Go.
who doesn't love it?
So a couple of things before I let you go. Anything else you're working on that we can keep an eye out for?
Not on the books right now, film related.
I know what that
I've
means.
been doing, it's exciting times. It's busy times, coming back from the strike. But like I said, I mean, I've been doing a lot of community mutual
Yeah.
aid in Vancouver. Stop the Sweeps. Shout out to them. They do great work trying to prevent displacement of unhoused people and people being criminalized by poverty. So
Yeah, good
yeah,
for you for
shout out
helping.
them. That's that's what I've been up to.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's terrific. Okay, so the last thing before I let you go, where can we find you on social media?
Uh Kaylayla Raine on Instagram.
Yeah, it comes
Um
right up.
yeah, just spelt standard way, right as you see it in the credits of Resident Alien season 3 once you go watch that.
It looks really good as a credit. Like it's a good Hollywood name.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I like it. I'm a fan. Kaylayla means butterfly, which I think is really sweet. Yeah.
So nobody calls you Butterfly?
I
Because
mean,
Butterfly
they
Rain
I mean, every
comes
time
out.
you call me Kaylayla, you call me
Well, I guess
butterfly.
that's true. I guess that's true. I was just thinking, Butterfly Rain. That sounds like a detective to me.
Ugh, we're not looking for a detective name. It's not our style.
Well, I mean, that would be a movie I would watch
Butterfly Rain?
if she was the detective in it.
Hmm.
How about that?
We'll have to keep that in mind.
What if her name's Butterfly, but she hates butterflies?
Well, that would be a horrible complex waiting to happen. That's a super villain origin story if I ever heard one.
Yes.
I mean, butterflies are kind of scary. You ever have a butterfly fly like right in your face?
Yes. I'm not a
It's
fan.
kind of intense. I'm not really into it.
They just hover.
Yeah, I'd almost rather have a bee,
Yeah.
almost.
Right. Yeah. It seems like butterflies though, when they're like on you, they're hard to get away from.
Yeah,
They
I
kind
know
of
there's
move
places
with
that
you.
are like butterfly sanctuaries and like and I think of like people go there and get butterflies to like land on them. And I'm like, that sounds like a butterfly massacre waiting to happen. I just get too anxious and I'd snap.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
with you.
Not for me.
Wait.
I'm with you on this. Yeah.
Yeah. No butterflies.
No butterflies.
Okay. Hold on one second. Kaylayla Raine. She was telling me that Kaylayla means butterfly. Um, love that. Such a pretty name, and she's such a terrific actress and just genuine. I think that's so great. She's very open about things she's working on as an actress and starting out, and she talked a little bit about the being a little starstruck when she first started out on set, and then getting comfortable, and how much she loves the other actors in the cast. Just a terrific interview. I knew it would be. If you haven't checked out Resident Alien yet, make sure you do. Kaylayla's character's name is Jay. She's terrific, but the whole cast is just great. If you haven't watched Resident Alien, make sure that you do that, and then check out our panel interview with like 9 of the cast. It's like most of the main cast, missing a few that we should have had. We should have had Dan. We should have had Kaylayla. But next time, we'll get them next time. But please check that out. If you're finding us for the first time, our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please just subscribe. Really does help us out. Our website's meistercon.com. We've got 755 episodes and counting up now. You can get those audio and video versions. So please make sure you do that. Appreciate you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm once again here to ask for your support. It's been a big year for the Too Opinionated podcast. Back in February, we got to live out a dream, moderate for William Shatner here in our hometown. In May, we passed 100,000 downloads on our YouTube channel, and we followed that up in June with 50,000 downloads on the audio side. We recently posted our 600th episode, which is pretty good volume for just a father and son operation. Not too many podcasts can keep that volume up. We've been doing this now for 4.5 years, 600 plus episodes. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is a really big deal for us because we've always gotten the views, but have struggled to get people to subscribe. So that 1,000 was a big deal for us. And best of all, we were recently named one of the top podcasts on IMDb, which is the entertainment database. Those that are ahead of us, we came in at number 82. Those that are ahead of us are bigger companies like Disney, mostly Marvel, and Joe Rogan, that type of podcast. So for us, being just a small West Virginia father and son podcast, to be in the top 100 out of 15 million, it's a pretty big deal for us. So thank you for everything you've done for us so far. Got a couple little ways, though, that you can help us, and they're free and they're really easy. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please go to YouTube. It's under MeisterCon Pod. Just hit subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Really helps us a ton. And maybe even more important, if you could go to IMDb, imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast, and just look around the page. Just having that traffic on the page really helps us out. So that's a couple easy ways that you can support us, even if you're not listening or watching all of the time. And we want you to listen and watch, because I think that our guest list, I would put up against anybody, any other show, podcast, anybody out there. I think our guest list holds up. So please check us out. You probably will find somebody that you like, or maybe somebody that you didn't know you liked, but kind of discovered them on there. There's tons of that. If you're into music, we have that too. If you like books, we've got authors on there. If you're more into what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment world, we've got producers, directors, video artists, anything you can think of that happens behind the scenes, we've had them on the show. So definitely check us out. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.